I'm going to South Carolina, big rally. A lot of people, thousands of people outside, and it's going to be very exciting. We have a big day tomorrow in terms of the Democrats watching, see what happens. And then on Tuesday, you have a very big day, so it'll be interesting to see. We're at the same number. A lot of people are getting better, very much better. The 15 number, plus we took it, as you know, from Japan. We took in some great American people and citizens, and they're getting better very rapidly. They're doing very well. All of them are doing well. The 15 people, likewise, we have them down to a much lower number. They're in good shape. Most of them are in really good shape. One of the people is, I wouldn't say not doing well, but it's very sick, but she's hopefully getting better. But we're at the same number. Essentially we've only had 15, and a lot of that's because I called it early. We made a decision very early to close up our borders to certain areas of the world, and we did that. And so we are hopefully getting lower from that number, but let's see what happens into the future. Some countries are doing well, some countries are not doing well. You can see that for yourself. And a lot of things are happening. We're very well organized. We have great talent, great doctors, great everyone. There's tremendous spirit, a lot of spirit. And as you know, with the flu, on average, we lose from 26,000 to 78,000 people a year, even more than that in some cases, some years. We haven't lost anybody yet, and hopefully we can keep that intact. There have been no deaths in the United States at all. A lot of that's attributable to the fact that we closed the border very early. Otherwise, it could be a different story. So we'll just keep doing a good job. We're ordering a lot of supplies. We're ordering a lot of elements that, frankly, we wouldn't be ordering unless it was something like this. But we're ordering a lot of different elements of medical. We are working on cures, and we're getting some very good results. As you know, they're working as rapidly as they can on a vaccine for the future. And with that, I think I can head out. Go ahead.
This is the worst week for the stock since the financial crisis. It's more of an economic or public health crisis.
Well, I think it's just people don't know. It's the unknown. You know, they look at it and they say, how long will this last? I think they're not very happy with the Democrat candidates when they see them. I think that has an impact. And we think we're going to win. We think we're going to win easily, but you never know. It's an election. I don't think that's helping. But I think that basically it's the unknown a little bit. But I feel very confident, and our people are doing a fantastic job. And again, we haven't seen an increase, and people are getting better. Almost everybody that we see is getting better. And it could be everybody, too. No, I'm spending a lot of time on it, just in coordination. Mike Pence is doing a great job. Dr. Fauci is great. They're all doing really a fantastic. Alex Azar is right on top of it. We're all watching it very closely. We don't want any bad surprises.
Of the economic recession helps Turkey to protect Turkey's soldiers security or not?
What is it?
Does NATO be involved in helping Turkey to protect its soldiers in Syria?
You're going to have to speak up. This thing is...
Does NATO
travel ban to the countries that aren't allowed in, for example, from Italy?
Well, we're looking at that right now, and we're looking at a couple of countries, a few countries that have a little bit disproportionately high number. And we're going to make that decision very soon.
And then, is this a hoax? Your chief of staff seemed to suggest that our coverage of this was a hoax. Do you think this is a hoax?
Well, I think that the media is, yes. I think that CNN is a very disreputable network. I think they're doing everything they can to instill fear in people, and I think it's ridiculous. And I think they're very disreputable. And some of the Democrats are doing it the way it should be, but some of them are trying to gain political favor by saying a lot of untruths. The fact is, I made one decision that was a very important decision, and that was to close our country to a certain area of the world that was relatively heavily infected. And because of that, we're talking about 15 who seem to be all getting better. One is questionable. And had that decision not been made, it could be a much different story. So some people are giving us credit, quiet. Some people are giving us credit for that, and some people aren't. But the only ones that aren't, they don't mean it. It's political, it's politics. So speaking of politics, I'm going to South Carolina. I think we're going to do fantastically there, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Say it.
Are you talking to CEOs about the stock market, sir? What are they telling you, the business community?
Well, I think the stock market is a reflection of this. Plus, I also think the people are not happy when they look at what's running on the other side. You know, it is an election, and I think we're going to do very well in the election, but it still is an election. And I don't think people are very inspired when they see the people running on the other side. But we're going to win, and that'll solve that problem. And after we win, you'll see a rise in the stock market like you haven't seen before.
Have you talked to the Fed about intervening or doing something?
Well, I hope the Fed gets involved. You know, I'm not a big fan of the Fed. You know that. I think they make a lot of mistakes. They've made a lot of mistakes. But I hope the Fed gets involved, and I hope they get involved soon. If you look at Germany, they're putting in a lot of money, and they're probably lowering rates still further. You look at other countries, they're all stuffing the till. They're all going in there. They're putting in a lot of money. And our Fed sits there, doesn't do what they're supposed to be doing. But that's up to them. That's up to them. They're independent. But they've done this country a great disservice. Thank you very much.